Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to do the character review for Icarus. I'm pretty sure nobody cares about this character review, but nonetheless I'm still doing it. And yeah, I'm going to go over again the usual points. I'm going to talk about how good this unit is, and then look at the different aspects of our kit. As the last time, we're only going to use the website, and I'm pretty sure I'm not even going to go through the team building section. I mean, I'm still going to mention stuff, but we're not going to show anything visually because there is really no need to, I believe. But yeah, so about Icarus, she's an okay support. She's unfortunately only for purple. Most of our kit is restricted to like working with purple units alone. Her defense increase works at lower deficit, but at higher deficits, even though on paper is a great increase, it didn't really seem to boost the survivability of units. And you have to keep in mind that my deficit is still not too high. I used her in hard mode as well, and there I have close to 400 deficit. But in normal adventure, I'm at around, I think, less than 300 actually. So in normal adventure, which is easier than hard mode, she still didn't boost survivability enough. Like my Karaka survived a bit better with Icarus, but not by an amount to say, okay, Icarus is really helping with survivability. Not really. I think the defense increase is pretty much worthless. It will work at 300 deficit, it will make unit feel tankier. The thing is, only defense is not enough, and most of our kit is just that. She has an interesting mechanic in the special move, which is the active skill cooldown reduction for purple units, and I think that's the only reason why you would even want to play her. Still, she's an okay support. Like, she's not the worst, but I couldn't give her higher than A plus arrow down for the below 350, and for above 350, A arrow down, because she's literally an active skill cooldown reduction, which again ain't bad, but the fact that it's restricted to only purple is really limiting, and I don't like that. But could somehow work with some units. The thing is, I don't think there is any scenario where you would want to run her instead of the alternatives that purple has plenty of. So yeah, not really a unit I'm too excited about, and not a unit I think you should be pulling on. You definitely have better units to go for. You can also just save up your standard tickets for future units or for the rerun of the data tower units like Ice Spear Kunagero and Spear Baranak. Those would be way more impactful. It's just not it. Okay, let's have a quick look at the kit and the other things and get it done with, because I don't really think this makes a lot of sense. We will start as usual from the passive. This is the one that is going to increase the defense of all purple element allies by 400% at the start of the battle. It's getting increased by the exclusive equipment if I remember correctly, and with Revolution 4 this gets unremovable, which is fine, great on paper, but still doesn't really work that well. Then we have the HP recovery of all allies by 600% of our defense every 7 seconds. It's pretty shit. I mean, this is totally irrelevant for us. The thing that like this unit is designed for, and I'm 99.9% positive that that's the case, this is a unit designed for the enemy team, period. Like, they designed this unit to make the enemies a lot more annoying, because she's really strong as an enemy. In our teams, absolute trash. The defense increase and the HP recovery is massive when she's an enemy. So for that, like, good for them, but shit for us. Then we have the first active skill, still useful, but it's not. Okay, she's going to recover HP of herself and the ally with the lowest HP percentage by 1000% of her defense every second for 5 seconds. That's a pretty massive increase, I would say. And then also provide an additional defense increase on top. This is not limited to purple alone, but is just 200% defense. So decent, but not too much. Then we have the other active skill. This is just going to be an AoE attack centered on the highest attack enemy. That is going to silence enemies for 4 seconds, plus 2, I think, coming from the exclusive achievement. So it should be a 6-second silence in an AoE, which isn't bad, but there are better crowd controls, I would say. Then we have the special move. This one is going to increase defense by 350% of our defense. There's an additional number from, I don't remember if it was the Revolution or the exclusive equipment, we're going to see in a second. But yeah, this is not too high of an amount, it's fine. But like all of these defense increase combined didn't really help much at the low deficit that I'm at, so I do not really see it working at even higher deficit. And if the target is a purple elementalized, their active skill remaining cooldown decreases by 10 seconds. Again, pretty solid. This is the only interesting thing in her whole kit. And yeah, if she didn't have this, she would be probably B rank, maybe even lower. Like, totally worthless. And yeah, that's it for the kit. Simple, basic, nothing fancy. Then we have the exclusive equipment. First one is the one I just mentioned, extending the silence duration by 2 seconds. Cool. And this one is the passive that gets an additional 160, so 560% defense to all the purple element allies. Then we also have level 3 that is going to increase this one from 40 to 60% per stack, so 300% defense. Is only single target, but decent nonetheless. And then an additional 150% defense, taking this one to 500%. These numbers are insanely high, but again, for some reason, they don't work for us. Then we have Revolution. The only good one is Revolution 4. This one is going to just increase, like make the defense increase from the passive unremovable. That's it. And then Revolution 5 is a heal every second while the power of the breeder is active, so the special move. And again, this is only annoying as an enemy in hard mode, but irrelevant for us in our team. And yeah, if you really want to play her, even after all of this trashing, you should run a Barry on her just to keep her alive more reliably. Or the usual alternatives for supports are also good. You could maybe run ID as well, just to have the active skill cooldown cast 2 times in a row, maybe making it a bit more effective or more like a reset, but doesn't really matter. I don't think it's worth playing over the rest of these options. And still, not really that great. And then, yeah, for the investment guide, I filled it in. I don't think there is really much to talk here. Just maybe main stat, slot 4, you want to go magic resistance, slot 5, physical resistance, just to keep her alive. If you already have enough magic resistance or you're at a deficit where resistances don't really matter, even though she has a lot of defense increase, so that deficit would increase a little bit. But in that case, if they don't work anymore and you still get one-shotted, you can also run effect resistance and stuff like that. Up to you. And the only thing you should level up here is just effect resistance, regardless of the tier you take her to. And I also assigned as the nice to have a Revolution 4 max. You don't really need anything more than this, is irrelevant. So yeah, that's all for the kit, investment, and stuff like that. The only thing left to talk about is just the team building and team composition. Again, you just want to play her in a mono purple team. So your best bets are going to be to use her with white, Eljo, and that's it. Those are the 2 DPSs that she will support the best. You could use her with Mashin as well, but Mashin is ranged. She won't really benefit too much from the defense increase. It's better to go for a team that can actually allow her to survive via some other distractions or positioning. So you don't really need an Icarus in that kind of team. Eljo also wants mono purple, so I would say Eljo is the best candidate for the DPS unit of an Icarus team. And white would also work well outside of mono purple, so maybe you can find some better composition, but it would work in a mono purple with Icarus. Maybe not the best, but can work. Eljo is also the one that I think will benefit the most because he has a really important HP recovery block in the active skill, but is again behind an active skill, so there is a long cooldown to it, which Icarus can help with a special move. Also, Eljo gets a lot of HP increase from his passive, and coupled with the defense increase could make him quite tanky. only if you're crazy enough to go the full resistance route on Helljo. Could be possible. I haven't tried it out to be honest, but maybe I will. We'll see. But I don't think it's really worthwhile enough. You really want Helljo to be bursting enemies down. You don't want to change to a resistance build just so that your Icarus can do something. You're just losing out on too much damage. But okay, identified the DPS you want to be running. The rest of the units in the team are basically always the same. You want a Yura more or less, maybe not necessarily with Eljo. Well, yeah, I mean, she's a good defensive option and probably the only one that purple really has, outside of maybe Nare, but definitely the revive on Yura is a bit more valuable. So yeah, you can run units like Reflejo plus Anna to have the initial grouping, plus the crowd control from Reflejo and the frontline from Reflejo. So that's an option. Or you can just run one Caraca orange 4 or above instead of both of them, so that you can again free up a slot. In the last slot, you can run like an array if you can free it up, because otherwise, if you go Icarus plus Eljo plus Yura plus Anna plus Reflejo, that's already a team. If you go for Caraca Orange 4 in the last slot, you can run an array to give more energy to your Eljo. Wouldn't be a bad option, or your white. Both team will basically be the same, I would say, in terms of composition. And that's it. I know I gave a lot of random names, but reading purple, there are not a lot of different options. I think if you're going Eljo, Anna plus Reflejo would be the best option, because you're lacking a bit in crowd control. When only Caraca could feel a bit lacking, but yeah, that's kind of it, guys. Really, there is not much. It doesn't make any sense to spend more words on this unit. Let me know in the comments how you feel about like Icarus or whatever. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for the live stream. And yeah, I'm really excited to see if they actually mess up the third Uric in this game. Really, really looking forward to that. And yeah, I will see you guys then. Bye.